Welcome back to Good Morning LaLa, and we're all about Wealth Wednesday and women's empowerment in business. Today we have Tatiana Dudyez. I said it right! Yes! She's a power strategist for high-achieving women. Talk to us about that.
Wow. Well, I'm fascinated how the universe put us together and aligned us, because everything you said at the beginning of the show is really the reason why I do what I do today, which is really to teach women how to operate from more of a fullness within, to create more power in their life, to actually be more performant, and not forget and reduce the very part of them that makes them so powerful, which is their femininity, and also be in harmony with that warrior energy they have within them, which is the very masculine energy. And as high achiever, we all have it, and we need to celebrate that too, right?
Absolutely.
Right, so it's really what has brought us to that success level. But then we hit that point where, is that achievement level enough?
Well, it's really interesting because a lot of women need a strategist because, as you mentioned, our journey to success is not like a man's. It's very different.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. And that's, this is really my purpose in life, and I've discovered it actually quite recently if you look at my entire life. And it is really through this point where I actually hit my wall 4.5 years ago, and I realized that I had proven to myself and to man, or so I thought at the time, that I could do it. I had a multi-million-dollar business in Montreal. I had the beautiful car. I owned my home. I had been this, single mom, and then what? And I basically looked at all that I had, but it didn't feel like I was happy, and it didn't feel enough. And so I created another way.
So was there an actual, take us back to that moment. Was there a
Oh,
moment
yes.
when you decided?
Yes. So it's 4.5 years ago. I'm going to a Tony Robbins event because I'm actually dating this man who is really involved in the Tony Robbins world. I know nothing about Tony Robbins. Tony, I'm so sorry, but now I know you and I love you. But then I just knew you had big teeth, and that was it. And so I felt stuck. I felt like my business was stuck at the time, and that's how I could experience it. And so I go to this event not knowing a thing about it. I didn't do any research, and I get to this event, and it's actually the most intense event you can possibly take. Date with Destiny. It is amazing, and yet it was 6 days of bawling my face, of crying, and having this theme of unconditional love pop up in my life for the first time. And I was at that point arguing with the coach at that event, saying, there's no such thing, like that doesn't work. I mean, I hadn't experienced it, right? And at that point, I literally looked at my future given what I was feeling then. And I thought, okay, so if I continue living this way, is this the way I really want to continue living? I'm not celebrating life. I'm not feeling grateful and successful within. People are looking at me going, Tatiana, you're so successful. And I'd be like, who are you talking to? It was I felt very disconnected. I had sacrificed so much. My marriage fell apart because of that business. I was not the present parent I wanted to be. I wasn't at all feminine. I mean, I looked feminine from the outside, but I used to scare men away. And so I just got to this point where I'm thinking there's got to be another way. And at that point in that event, I decided to recreate my life and liquidate everything. And that's what I did. I liquidated everything. I sold the business, took me a year. I sold our home. And as a mom, I felt a little guilty. And at the same time, I was modeling what I had always taught my girls.
Birthing pains can be painful, right?
Exactly.
Selling everything.
Yeah.
And being reborn is a process all the time.
Exactly that. It is a rebirth. And I chose to be reborn, and I recreated my life, and I chose to come here. I chose to come here because I feel home here. I feel like I'm vibrating with the same frequency as this land, as the beautiful people I've met. And this mission to really teach women how to not sacrifice life in order to be performant, in order to create power, in order to create success, is my passion and mission.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We're so excited for you and so excited to be on this journey with you.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Special thanks to Candace Barr, obviously, for connecting us.
Candace,
And, she wisely says, our network is our net worth. Right?
Absolutely. I love Candace. She's so cute. She's really been one of those beautiful persons here that have taken me under her wing. She's like, girl, you're coming with me. And it's really nice, you know, I came here knowing absolutely no one and with no one and with my 2 dogs. So, yeah.
So how do you help women now sort of achieve authentic success? Because that's kind of what I hear you saying is that, you know, you experienced a form of success, traditional success, that wasn't very fulfilling and it didn't feel very authentic. And now you've taken an approach, a sort of very clear, profound approach to help women sort of, you know, achieve authentic success. So where do you start with women when they come to see you?
It's a beautiful question. I start with them. So my program is called Unmask, Unlearn, Unleash, because at the beginning, we have to look within and really choose to unmask and take off those layers. So we look at all the layers and we look at the belief system that have supported her to get to that point. And authentic success is really about being aligned with your truth. So what is your truth? I see a lot, and I'm next to a lot of women that don't know who they really are. We live in a patriarchal system that has taught us unconsciously that we need to emulate men in order to achieve success and be performant. And it's robbing us of the very power we have within. And it's robbing us of that authenticity because that's not authentic. If I'm continuously, and I did for the longest time, reduce who I am, reduce my emotions because I don't want to rock the boat and I'm sitting at a board table and I'm not honoring what I'm feeling. I'm not honoring what I want to say and voice that will be a benefit to this meeting and to these people at the meeting. I'm not being authentic. So it's really creating an alignment between your truth, which is based on your values, right, within, and the business that you have and the success that you create on the outside. It's that pure alignment.
So well.
So where do people even begin? I mean, how does a woman really begin to tap in and unleash that power and that femininity? Where do you start?
I really do believe that it's looking within and unapologetically embracing who she is inside and sorting through what she wants to keep and what she wants to let go, because we all have things we believe, principles, or even a heritage of beliefs or a belief system that we have inherited, right? And so it doesn't serve us. So where do you want to be in your life? What do you want to keep? What do you want to shed? And being very honest. It takes a lot of self-awareness, right? And a radical decision to be honest with ourselves and want to also know where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? Like, if you were to continue living this type of life, where are you going to be in 5 years? Are you going to be having an amazing, intimate, romantic life with a man? Because that woman, that high achiever in business, generally, it was my case, so I can talk honestly, doesn't have a man in her life. Or if she has a man in her life, the polarity with that man is gone because she's taken on so much masculine energy inside to be in that warrior mode that it either emasculates the man and then he either stays and becomes more feminine and pleasing, or it pushes him away. And which is what partly happened with my divorce, is that my warrior was fully developed, and it was roaring. And
but it's an interesting time though, because I feel like as women in business, that's what is expected of us.
But that's
I feel like to even hold the time for myself to say, oh, I'm going to have time to go on this date, or time for myself to pursue a romantic relationship. That's time that's taking away from me as my business, and I don't feel like I've got that time to waste.
That's it. And actually, in the pain points that I've identified that we all have as high achievers, and I've listed them on my site, because I bet you that every high achiever woman in business will find herself in those pain points. One of them is we feel threatened by a man in our life to distract us from our purpose and our why. We think it's a head-based thing, process. We think that it's going to be a detriment to our life, when in fact it's going to help us magnify life, celebrate life. I mean, we are meant to be connected to one another. We are all one. We are meant to be with a man. A man is meant, or dependent on your sexual preference, it could be another man, but right?
So profound, yeah. And I love what you're saying here, and I love the principles, and they're just sort of perfectly sort of custom tailored for women. But I think they're principles that apply just as much to men, because the men I see are experiencing the exact same kinds of phenomenon in their professional and personal lives, and they have trouble with the emotion regulation, and at the same time they don't want to deny their feelings, and they've got to find ways to channel them productively, but at the same time when they're at work they're sort of like super alpha, and then they go home and they want to take that same kind of approach at home, and it doesn't work there either. So so much of this is about calibrating and recalibrating. It's about emotional intelligence, and I love that you've custom tailored it in a way that speaks to women so deeply.
And I'm also challenged recently, as you're beautifully expressing your point of view as a man, to open my practice to actually men. I feel very strongly towards women because I've lived it. And the very thing that actually helped me shift into this work was listening to the man in those events with Tony Robbins. Tony is very big on masculine, feminine energy, which, by the way, is not a gender thing. It's really it's two energies we all have within. Now, as a man, you want to have access to your feminine energy, but you don't want to live there. You don't want to be powerful from that feminine standpoint if your essence is primarily masculine, right? So same for us as women. So I was really touched by the testimonials of the men in his events, the ones who have been emasculated by their women, not knowingly.
I've done that to a few men in my life.
I have too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right?
And we don't know. And when I heard their testimonials over and over again, because I'm now coaching with Tony in his events, so I spent a lot of time, and it broke my heart to listen to the men.
Don't you think it's interesting? I think that one of the greatest things that come out of this rise in women's empowerment in business is that it can't help but affect men in business, just like you said,
Yes.
Rob. And I think that these things we're all going to dance with. The thing that women are bringing into business is really spirituality. They really are. And it's really cool because men are now getting in touch with that as well and figuring out like, oh, I really do need to embrace my authenticity around this, and how do I have that balance in it, and how do I play the different things and have those roles. And so I just think this is all of us.
Yes.
I think women are coming together because we're just desiring that feminine bond right now, but I think it's trickling over in so many profound ways, and it's really an exciting time. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
For all of your work. How can people find you?
On my site, my name, TatianaDudyez.com. It's very easy. Everything's there. My radio show, the coaching possibilities, the calling. They can actually book themselves a free 30-minute call with me. My Instagram, Facebook, everything's there.
Thank you, Tatiana.
Thank
Stay
you
tuned.
so
We'll be back
much.
with more. Good morning, La La Land.